FWB angry I'm getting married. For years, I've had an on-again off-again FWB relationship with a friend I've known since high school. He set the rules. Told me this is what it is and will never be anything more than that. I accepted those terms. When he felt like things were getting a little too close for comfort, he spoke up and said that it felt like I was pushing for more and we need a break. I wasn't pushing for more but, no problem. We took a break. For the most part we accepted it as it was. And if one of us wanted more with someone else, we called it off and left the other alone. But when things went south, we were back to messing around. This went on for 9 years. The last year, it felt like things were changing. He was more possessive of me. He became more affectionate. When I brought it up that it felt like he was changing our dynamic, he laughed it off and said he just felt like being a little more affectionate at that moment and not to look more into it. While out one night he said there was something he wanted to tell me. Something he said he's been feeling but wants to tell me when the time was right. He then booked a hotel for the weekend and we went on a small vacation together. In the middle he took my hands, looked at me and said it again, "There's something I'm going to say this weekend, but I'm looking for the right time." The weekend ended and he never said a word about what it was. Shortly later, I had invited him over and found him in my bathroom crushing one of my pain meds. I immediately confronted him and his response was, "You don't really need it." I threw him out and decided it was best to end things altogether, so I did. Days later he apologized, said he was in a dark place and swore he was getting help. I told him I hoped that he did and wished him luck. Despite my ending it, he continued to pursue the friendship. I decided I was going to distance myself from him. If he was using, the last thing I needed was that in my life. Every time he asked to hang out, I told him no. I stopped seeing him. I didn't reach out to him to talk, but he would reach out to me. Eventually I started seeing someone. When he reached out and asked about us restarting the FWB back up, I told him that I can't, that I have a boyfriend now. He lost it. He started calling me names. Accused me of leading him on. He said that I betrayed him and I stopped him right there and pointed out that he was the one that didn't want me as anything more. He didn't want me as a girlfriend and he was the one who kept slamming the brakes. He never once said he wanted more, never once even said he loved me. If things had changed, he never said anything to me about it. For 9 years I was a friend with benefits and that was that. He called me more names and blocked me on everything, but he would keep asking my friends about me and my boyfriend. A year later he unblocked me to see how I was. I told him I was fine and he asked if I was married yet. I stopped talking after that and he went back to asking my friends questions. Now here it is 3 years later and I'm about to get married in 2 months. Somehow he found out and he's angrily screaming about it to anyone who will listen about how I left him after 9 years for that guy. We were never anything. I have him blocked and told everyone to stop telling me what he's saying. Stop showing me texts and screenshots and absolutely don't tell him anything about me. I'm not his business. Seriously. The audacity of this guy. Edit. Yes, my future husband knows about him. His response was telling the FWB to grow up and saying it's his fault it took him 9 years to realize the worth in what he had.